turn it, lead it, stop, format it. Touch it, read it, learn it, teach it, everybody talk about it. Touch it, read it, learn it, teach it, everybody talk about it. Touch it, read it, learn it, teach it, everybody talk about it. All right, guys, great day. Mr. McCray coming your way with another installment of Math Mentoring. And our focus today, folks, is homework. We're going to get into all the homework that was given out in week 6 and try to make some sense out of it. So let's begin. Consider our first problem. First problem. I am solving a linear equation. I'm solving a linear equation and inequalities. I'm using the equation 4x, or inequality rather, 447 plus 4x is less than 7. And, okay, so let's use that as our starting point. Now, what can we do? Well, we can use boxes and circles. We can use our graphing calculator. I'm going to start with boxes and circles because that's the most basic form you've been introduced. So what is boxes and circles? Consider the following. You see an X, we box the X. You see a number, we circle the numbers. All right? Once that has happened, what I'm going to ask you to do is combine your circles with circles, and if you have 2 sets of boxes, you'll combine those. The rule here is that when we cross the line, we change the sign. So if I go from left to right, 47 becomes negative 47. I combine 47 and 7, or negative 47 and 7. I'm going to have to get a negative number. In fact, I get a negative 40. Now considering the following. I have to solve for x. How do I do that? Well, whatever number is in front of the x, if I divide by that, I'm going to get x by itself. Or whatever the number is in front of the x, we take its reciprocal and multiply. And that's the case here. I'm multiplying 1/4 by 4, and I get back x. If I do that for the right, 1/4 times negative 40 will give me back negative 10. So the solution to our set is going to be applause. Solution 10. All right. Let's consider our next problem. The value of x that makes the left and the right side equal. Which value? Is it number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Let's consider the following. We've done boxes and circles. Well, now let's use our graphing calculator. Utilizing our graphing calculator requires us to remember this rule. Whatever on the left side, we'll plug into y1. Whatever is on the right side, we plug into y2, and then we see where they intersect. The solution of that intersection will be the value of x. Consider part 2. I want to hit second trace 5. And if I can't see the point of intersection, not a problem. I hit zoom 3 to step back. Case in point, can't see the intersection, hit zoom 3. Oh, now I see it a bit better. Okay. And step 3, hit enter 3 times, and I will find that my point of intersection is negative 11. So, very quickly, my solution to this problem has to be choice 4. All right, let's consider our homework from Wednesday. we have the following equation, and we notice a couple trends here. We had our fractions on Wednesday. Now I want to throw some decimals at you. So how do we go about this? Let's let our calculator do all the heavy lifting. Consider step one. All right. This will go on to the left side of the equation, y1, and what's on the right side will go into y2. Consider step three, or step two here. I must hit second, trace 5. If I can't see the point of intersection, I'm going to step out. But in this case, it looks like I do. I see that the intersection is 8.3 for x. So when x is 8.3, y is 5.2. I think that may be enough for us to come to a conclusion. 8.3 corresponds very nicely with choice 1. So choice 1, magic pen at the ready. Choice 1 would be our solution. Moving on, let's consider the problem from day 25, Thursday. Now we've gone back from our decimals, we've gone back to fractions. So how do you think we're going to do this, guys? You probably guessed it. We're going to use our graphing calculator. So on the left side of the calculator, let's set that equal to y1. On the right side of the calculator, let's set that equal to y2. Voila. Consider our next steps. Our next steps. We're going to hit second trace 5. If you can't see it, we're going to step back. But we got to be able to see that point of intersection. All right, after we hit second trace 5, we got to hit enter 3 times. And when we hit enter 3 times, we're going to see that when the value of x is 4, y is 5/6. But what we're most interested in is that solution of 4. That solution of 4. Consider our next problem. Here, we're being told that they want us to take a pause on the graphing calculator and actually do this the old-fashioned way. They want us to solve it algebraically. Can we do that? Absolutely, we sure can. Let's take a look at the steps that we're going to use. All right. First step, we're going to consider. We got to get rid of our parentheses. By doing that, once we do that, we have to group by boxes and then by circles. So the operation we use when we have a parentheses is multiplication. So I'm multiplying 4x by -3. That gives me -12x. And I'm multiplying -8 by -3. That's going to give me +24. So I want to box up my values of x. I'm going to box up my value of x on the right. All right. And that takes me to my next step, step 2. In step 2, I see that I've combined my x's, and now I have -5x, and I am interested, and I've also combined 6x and negative x, and that gives me -3x. So that now allows me to move into my next step. Once I have combined all these values up, I want to take my x's, my boxes, and put them together. My circles, I want to put them together. In order to do that, when they're on opposite sides of the equal sides, I got to use this rule. Cross the line. Here's my line. Change the sign. Therefore, this 24 is being shifted over here. That's now negative 24. And this negative 3 is being shifted over here. That's now positive 3. The total sum of that is I'm going to get an inequality that looks like this. Negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 12. Okay? Well, got something else up my sleeve. Because I know whatever the number is in front of x, I got to divide by that number. So consider the following. When you divide by a negative number, you must reverse the inequality. So my inequality was less than or equal to. Now it has to be greater than or equal to. All right, because what we're doing is we're taking negative 2 and dividing it by its, multiplying it by its reciprocal, which is negative 1.5. And negative 12 is being multiplied by that same reciprocal. So I now have negative 12 divided by negative 2, which is that's positive 6. All right. So what is our final solution? Well, our final solution, negative 6, has to be that the values of x that satisfy the inequality is 6 through 8. 6 through 8 are the values that satisfy this inequality. All right, guys, we came to the end. Wasn't so bad. All right, so here's what you do. You want to pause your video, rewind, so that you're internalizing the skills, so that you can knock it out of the park come this Wednesday. Remember, 30 minutes of study a day keeps bad grades away.